So here for another episode, and Charlie is crashing my intro. I like to
I
do
would
this
I would never do that to you.
right on cue. I like to do these by myself, but sometimes you gotta include your friend. But we got another exciting episode of ValuNation, folks. The Come Up Chronicles, new lingo, same series, continues on. We got another employee here of Nationwide Property Appraisals making the come up, moving their way on up. John Weisser will be joining us today. It's going to be a good one. Sit back and enjoy. Your resolution is looking good today, Charlie. Like what is it with you guys?
It's because you got your Apple. That's what it is.
Mine looks like crap still. It's this old MacBook. It's just blurry.
See, that's what you get. All you gotta do is you got this new position now. You gotta hit up Tyler and be like, hey bro, I gotta do better. That's what I did. I literally just did that last week.
Yeah, I've had this thing for like 8 years or something like that.
All right, time for it. Look at you and Rocky had that freaking. You guys got those bricks of an old laptop. She finally got a new one, so you're up.
I mean, mine's at least a MacBook, so I mean, it's not like one of those like old school bricks. Like I was a spoiled brat back in the Order Pro days and got the MacBook, but honestly, I just don't know if Mac's the right solution because everything we do is so Microsoft based. It kind of makes things a little tougher.
Yeah, and soon you'll be flipping to Android. What do you got, John? What do you got out there in Phoenix?
I heard this was going to be a topic discussion. I was talking to Travis about last week. So I had Apple for almost 10 to 12 years, and I just switched to Android like 2 weeks ago.
So you came back? You're on the good side.
I've never had Android. I've always had Apple, and I've never had a problem with it. I still don't have a problem with it, but I was researching all the new phones and stuff, and I was looking for something that had a few more upgrades and a few more, things to do on the phone, like new things. And upon my research, I was like, from the iPhone I had to the new one, there really wasn't anything that I saw that was a major upgrade, which again, I didn't have a problem with it, but I was looking for something a little bit more. And my girlfriend has an Android and she's been trying to push me for years. And I see the stuff she takes on her camera and all that stuff. So I finally made the switch, and there's definitely some things about it that I'm not as big a fan of as Apple, but there's also a lot more customization things that I really do like that Apple didn't do. Bro, I'm still new, so I'm a little biased, but
I got a flip phone.
That's pretty dope. So
that's the Samsung Android all day, green dot, baby. Sorry, Shorty.
What number flip phone is that for you already?
It's not important. I travel, so I'm very heavy and hard on my phone.
So you're saying you're hard on equipment. Charlie is hard on equipment.
Yeah. So Tyler's hooking me up with a new Surface. So I said, make sure we get the warranty on that sucker.
See, that's what I want to upgrade from this MacBook that I've had forever to a Surface. Those Surfaces are amazing. Surfaces are fantastic. So, side question. How do you pronounce your last name? Is it Weisser?
It's Weisser. Yeah.
Like a Z, Weisser?
Kind of. Yeah, it's like a Z, Weisser. Like he's wiser than most,
No.
There he is.
You got it in there.
So we have a John Weisser and we have a Josh Weisauer. Have you seen Josh's name popped up? Like I don't know why I found like
it's not so much common now, but when I first started with Nationwide, I got quite a few messages and emails that were for Josh. Definitely.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
John W. and they're kind of similar the way they're spelled.
But they're kind of similar the way they're spelled, and on the all of our systems on the drop down, they're right next to each other. So
JW.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're an NFL fan, right?
I am. Yeah.
Who's your squad?
So funny story. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. And
you're on the wrong side of the country, bro.
That's the funny story about it, So I started watching NFL years and years ago, and my friends looped me into fantasy leagues. I play fantasy football with all those guys, and this is years ago. And I was like, well, I don't really ever watch football. I watch it, leisurely, never competitively, all that. And I didn't have a team, so I told them, like, well, how do I pick a team? How to do that? And they're like, oh, you just pick one. I lived in Portland, Oregon, so my options locally were the Seahawks or any California team, and no, I can't stand the Seahawks. And so I just did some research, and I just kind of out of everyone's I looked, I was like, oh, Eagles look good. I just stuck with them.
Hold on, did you pick them based on their logo and their mascot?
No,
or was this purely based on wins and losses kind of vibe?
It definitely wasn't wins and losses because they weren't that great there, but it was people that were playing at the time. Part of it was team colors. The colors, I definitely like their team colors, but
respect.
It was a couple different things, and I just ever since then I've been known as the guy that picked the team and stuck with it for years. It's been 10, 15 years now that I've been following them. So
Hey man, you put your time in.
I was gonna say, how long has it been? So like, who was was it Donovan McNabb back then?
yeah.
Andy Reid, good man. Andy Reid's a
Andy,
great.
oh yeah, you're well acquainted with Andy Reid.
I'm very well acquainted with him. Yep. And it makes it difficult because obviously I work in the office with Travis and Tyrone's in here as well. They're both Chief fans. So this year was tough.
It was a great year. What are you talking about? I won't forget it though. So the first year I was with Nationwide, it was the year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but it was still the regular season, and it was the company Christmas party in Philadelphia.
Wow.
And the Chiefs were playing the Patriots that week. And so like the night of the party, I think it was, like, we kind of had a free day. So I wandered around Philly and stuff, and I was rocking my Chiefs gear because they played that night. So actually it was the day after, it was the night of that 76ers game. And I got a lot of people who just were like, yeah, like the Chiefs, but it was like, good luck when Andy Reid chokes. Everybody think, because he hadn't won the Super Bowl yet. So I got so many people stopping me on the streets of Philly and be like, we love Andy, but good luck when he chokes. You're going to feel our pain. You're going to feel our pain. But he finally got over the hump that year. It was cool.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, McNabb was fun to watch too.
Oh, McNabb was a monster.
That was a solid. They had some decent wide receivers. I don't even remember who the running back was.
Brian Westbrook. McNabb.
Oh, Westbrook.
McNabb and Brian Westbrook won me a fantasy championship together.
It was Dawkins. Dawkins was in the secondary, right?
Yeah, Dawkins was a monster.
This was an animal. Got no neck, just a straight black visor.
Well, we're just getting started. I mean, you saw what Jalen Hurts did this year, and he's still a rookie. I mean, they just gave him a major increase, so he'll be bringing the heat some more.
Yeah, we talked about that before. He's got a really good group behind him. Like, he's the only guy that has an agent and PR, and whole team is all female.
Oh yeah.
And they're doing, which is a big deal in the NFL, or for now anyways. Like, they're making a lot of strides in different ways, whether it's coaching.
The first year they brought him on, I wasn't a huge fan. I said, I want to see what he can do first. So I'm not gonna, I knew how it was, especially coming from Carson Wentz, who was a little bit more rough around the edges. But last year he finally brought it. I said, all right, here's my quarterback.
Yeah, you can get behind him. It was fun watching him. Like, I had a lot of respect watching him at Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
And, when he actually sat out for the majority of that 1 year, I don't remember if it was his junior or senior year.
I think it was his junior, because he got replaced in the national championship game by Tua.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he sat out that whole next year as a backup, and then went to Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, but he was man enough to sit behind Tua, help him out, coach him up. Yeah. Totally stand up guy. Yeah. And now he's doing it on the field. You got.
I don't know. I feel like we need to outlaw that rugby play. I don't know if that's a football play.
Which rugby play? Well, why can't we just go back to
on every 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1? They QB sneak, but then the linemen swoop around, and he's got 6 guys pushing him behind him. That's a QB sneak.
Mad you guys didn't get it.
We won. I don't care about it. We won. I still think that's just come on. This isn't.
Tell me how bad were you sweating though with how Mahomes was walking on his leg?
Going into halftime, because he went gimping in the locker room. I'm just we're down 10, I think, at halftime. He's gimping in the locker room, and all of us are just staring at the TV like this. It's not looking good. It never looks good until the 4th quarter. Mahomes just does Mahomes.
I know. Yeah.
I think we scored on every possession in the second half. That's what changed the game, is they figured out how to actually score consistently.
It was a great game, and that's the thing that I enjoyed about it, was regardless of who won, both teams put it all in. That's the kind of Super Bowl I want to watch. So.
Oh yeah, it was definitely an interesting game, man. Heart attack.
So John, you've been with Nationwide, or in the industry, for about 7 years, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. And how many years now with Nationwide is it?
I think we're about 2.
2?
Yeah.
So you came over with First Choice in Nationwide, joined forces.
Came over with First Choice. I was there with them for about 5 years, and then we came with Nationwide.
But so how'd you get into the AMC business? Where did it all start? What was your foot in the door into this wonderful?
It's funny. It was from someone I knew. So as you guys both know, I know Jared outside of work.
Okay.
And so his wife was actually working with me at my prior company here before Nationwide, and I was in a leadership position there. And so she connected us because we had the same interest in music and that kind of stuff. And that's how we kind of started talking, because we'd want to go to a couple shows together and that kind of stuff. And so he actually reached out to me one day and was actually curious about if I knew any team members that worked under me that were looking for a new job, maybe something that's in the office, and kind of explain the job. I was currently doing pretty good in my position, but it was also a spot where I was actually kind of looking for a new career. I was kind of feeling a little bit stuck where I was at. So instead of me reaching out to any of my team members, I said, well, what do you got? And then so actually told me a little bit about it, and I sat on it and did some kind of pros and cons, whether I thought it'd be a good option or not, and did the interview, took the job, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Awesome. So did you start off on like the orders team where you're signing orders and talking to the appraisers and stuff? Yeah.
Yep. Started out, came into 2016 when it was that crazy rush of volume.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That's when Portland completely went. No, Portland had already got nuts before that, hadn't it?
I came in the whirlwind of it. It was already happening when I got hired on. So they were doing, First Choice was doing a massive hire to kind of get things started. And we had just got under new management too, with Jim Bomberger. So the CEO of First Choice, he was hired the very next day I was. So it was all fresh.
Oh, wow.
It was great. It was great though. And like I said, it helped me too, because that means, I'm a very big go-getter type person. I'm not afraid to speak my mind, let people know who I am, what I want. So, and poor Jim, second day on his job, third on mine, I walk into his office and say, hey, I'm John, nice to meet you. Just so you know, I want to do more for the company, put the bug in his ear from the get-go. And sure enough, it did a lot. I mean, he was there to mentor me and train me, but I started in the orders, like you said, in that whirlwind of madness, just trying to get orders placed, basically, with appraisers who were just extremely overwhelmed and overworked. But it really enabled me to get to learn the job really fast, understand what was happening. And even though I'm a kind of person that works really good under pressure, the more I have, I handle it better. I'm able to prioritize, and my brain actually functions better when I have more to do. So that was kind of my strong suit. And from there is kind of what got me to understand, appraisals and the process and the AMC space and that good stuff, and really enabled me to kind of work my way up in the company a little bit.
Awesome. Sounds like a fellow ADHDer to me.
A little bit. I have some OCD-ness. I don't know if it's ADHD, but it definitely is one of, I function better when I know what's all around. I'm a bigger picture type person. So
yeah. Because I always tell people that too. It's like I cannot make myself do something too far in advance, because it's like if I know I have 2 weeks to get something done, like I don't touch it until a couple days before, and then I crush it. But like my mind is spinning on that thing for those 2 weeks, and like I'm probably having panic attacks. But then when I do it, and like you said, like sometimes OCD gets confused for ADHD or the other way around. Like I've been seeing a lot of that lately too, that like sometimes people confuse OCD and it's actually like ADHD or something like that.
Yeah,
when I was bartending too.
I can plan things out in the head. That's not a problem for me. It's more of, if I've got multiple things I have to do, I'm really good at prioritizing, and then that's where I get. Whereas if I only have one thing in front of me, I mean, I'll get it done, but it's like, okay, well, I've got nothing else to think forward of. What else do I need to do? What else is in my, it's more of, I like to have more on my plate to prioritize and function throughout my day and my week and plan that out. So
1,000%. I almost feel like it's easier to function when I have more stuff to do versus like one thing to do. It's
absolutely
so weird. Okay. So First Choice, and then, so working your way up the ladder at First Choice, did you start like managing a group of orders team, or kind of what was the?
So I started with just a couple clientele that I worked. So basically, and one of the ones we work with still now to this day, I've been working with for the last 6-7 years. So
nice.
I worked just orders basically with the team, and from there I went into a senior role and kind of helped oversee the orders team a little bit. And so then that's kind of where my strong suits are at a little bit, training and development and that stuff. So I still oversaw all of the orders department itself as far as the process goes. But it was also more about team development and getting the right processes in place, the right people in the right positions. And that's kind of where I strive at a lot.
So John, like now that you've rolled into this account management role, right? Do you still work with a broad spectrum of lenders, or do you have more of like a niche, if you will, in the lenders?
It's more of a niche. We kind of call it the specialized cube in a sense, not that one lender is special than another, but it's more of a less that we have certain procedures that we take care of for them, specialized for those clients and whatnot. So the team that works with those, I help with those clients as well. There's certain procedures we do that's a little bit differently than other ones, and that's kind of the niche I'm in. Like I said, that's a couple of ones that I've worked with for years and years and years, and so as part of it's just keeping those relationships, helping build those relationships, and not just me. Like I say, I've known from quite a bit, but the team that works with me as well, same scenario. Also familiar names and faces and processes that have obviously made us successful with them. We wanted to keep into place. So that's kind of what we do right now.
Right on. That's cool. And do you like you find yourself, do you prefer any kind, like when we're talking about, let's just say very broad, like credit unions or private money or wholesale, like do you find one that you kind of prefer one kind over the other?
Not really. I've worked with a decent amount, but as far as my role, it's mostly just kind of helping solve problems, and as far as that type of different scenarios is really not that different for me as far as the problem solving goes. It's I'm very big on personalities and, like I said, personal growth with people. So if it's a bigger company where there's more people I can get to know and kind of learn, I'm all about it. So
Right on. I like that. Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of, matching up personalities and that kind of thing, right? When we're talking about assigning a lender to one of our inside account managers, I feel like most of you guys in your role have that same mentality. Like we're just solving a problem. Like it's
yeah.
not really, it's not always about what kind of lender or what kind of, kind of appraisal we're talking about necessarily. Literally, I'm an ear for you to listen to you and then help you fix the problem. The
And I enjoy those. Honestly, sometimes some of the biggest problems end up being your biggest advocate. You solve a big problem, it ends up making that relationship even stronger for you. And then I think that some of the things that have made me a little bit more successful of those is, I mean, first of all, just being kind. If these people are reaching out to you, they're probably already frustrated. There's probably something
exactly
going on. There's probably something going on that they're not happy with, or something that's out of their control. They don't need, not that none of our team is not kind, but I just add that extra oomph, hey, how's your day going? Get to know a little bit. If I know them already, kind of add that personal touch, asking how, their personal life is, or whatever I know about them, that kind of stuff. And I think another big philosophy that I might do a little bit differently than other people, and I've done a couple of trainings on this before, is I don't ever tell anyone no. So if they come to me with a solution or a problem that they're needing a solution on or something like that, if it's something I can't do, or I know maybe isn't compliant, or I don't have the solution for, I won't tell them no, I can't do it. I'll start out by saying, here's what I can do for you. And that's been a huge thing for me is, I get a lot of people come back for more or additional help or referring me to things like that, because, I'm usually able to fix what they need, even if it's not what they were expecting or how they wanted it fixed. I still gave them a solution, and I didn't tell them what they didn't want to hear. I told them something that would work for them.
My man, he gets it. That's sales right there.
Just nailed it.
He's just nailing it. Like that's what we have to do in the field too. It's you're getting to know people on a personal level before you are diving into, the nuts and bolts of the business or sales pitch or anything like that. And when you get them on that level, we're just talking, it's just people, just a person talking to another person. It's not, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a vendor trying to solicit your business kind of thing. That's how I've done it for years and years. And I know when Schwartz walks out there and he flips his hair and people get, they get all giddy and they love, that's his thing.
No, I just say the wrong word and embarrass myself. And
the other thing is, I want to give a shout out, because this isn't just me. Every inside account manager has a team that works with them, and that's the key to it. Is I make sure I give them the recognition. I make sure that the people I'm working for help solve the problems know that they're also in the weeds helping solve these problems. So, when I tell them that we're working with our team, it's not just me doing the problem; it's the rest of them. And I think that's kind of where my background really keys in on is kind of training and development. The team that works with me, I make sure that we're all on the same page and the same mindset and that kind of stuff. And so I think that it's so successful because with the training that we do, we make sure that it's an understanding. So you'll ask any of the people that have worked with me and the clients I work with, when I train and develop, and again, I'm not trying to shameless plug, but this is just kind of my process that I've seen has worked best for me. I don't show them how to do it or show them what to do. I ask them to explain to me. So if they got a question, hey, I got this scenario happened. Can you help me with this? Well, absolutely I can. But first, I want you to tell me what you see, what you think the answer is, and then I'll tell you if I think you're right or not, or if you are right and why. And it kind of helps them understand the situation at hand as well. And by doing so, they don't need to come to me with that scenario again. Now, obviously, I welcome people asking questions, but I'm building a team that can help me in things just as much as I could myself, so that down the road they really don't need me. If I'm on vacation or PTO, I'm out. I mean, I hate to say it, I come back and most of the time they're saying, "Oh, we didn't need anything from you." Well, shoot, maybe I need to look for a new job. But at the same time, I've got a team that's working with me that's delivering the same kind of service that we should be delivering. And our clients know that, it's not just a one-man show, it's the entire team. That's what really sells it.
That is 100% accurate. And I love that. I wish more people trained in that way. We learn from our failures more than success. Oh, so you started, let's reel it back in here. So originally from Portland. So you were born and raised out there?
Born and raised Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
All right. Were you west? No, it's West Portland, right? Is the one it's Portland and West Portland, or is it Portland and East Portland?
East and west. I was a little bit everywhere. So I was actually born and raised in North Portland.
Okay.
But as I grew up, my family moved out to kind of the suburbs area. They actually lived in a place called Boring, Oregon.
For real? Boring, Oregon?
100%. It's there wasn't really a lot to do. If you like the wildlife, the trees, that's about all you get. I mean, it's a gorgeous city, but that's about it. It was pretty boring.
Like one stoplight kind of vibe, or what are we talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot there. But like I said, you get a lot of nature and the wildlife and that kind of stuff, which is what they wanted. But for me being a teenager, they moved there when I was 17. That wasn't what I wanted at the time, which they were totally okay. Yeah, so I moved out and I stayed in Portland, and I kind of for the next 10 years or so, I kind of jumped around different parts of Portland, downtown, a little bit area, east, west. And then I actually moved out to for the last little bit of my career before first choice, I lived in Tualatin, which is kind of the west side across from where Portland is, not too far away. So, but I still was able to work out in the area, which, first choice was based out of Beaverton. So it's pretty close to that, but still go to actually in Portland for all my social events and stuff. So
I need to get out there and check that out.
Yeah, no, I've spent a decent amount of time out there, like, and then have gone down to do the like the wine tours in Willamette.
Willamette. Yeah.
Done some of the wineries down there. Those orchid pinots are fantastic. And then did the drive along the river gorge and saw the falls and made it over to Hood River and back.
It's a really gorgeous city. It's a gorgeous state altogether.
It is beautiful, especially if you're there during the right weather.
Yeah, absolutely. And their summers there are just absolutely, like, you can't beat them. It's better than that. My biggest issue is that, for living there for almost 30 years, I got really tired of the rain. Really.
And now you're in Phoenix, no rain.
That was honestly one of the biggest pushes for it. I had taken a vacation out here with one of my best friends. It was just a 3-day, 4-day trip, and it was just a vacation for us to be here. But also for me, it was probably I want to see if there's something else for me to move. I've never lived anywhere else but Oregon. Maybe change it up, and I absolutely fell in love with the city. That trip, I spent a couple of days here, got to know the city. We got to do some sightseeing, check out the local areas, that kind of stuff. I'm a huge music person. I go to a lot of shows, and I mean, Portland had a really, really good music scene as well. But I noticed a lot of tours, especially for the kind of music I listen to, a lot of places stopped into Phoenix that didn't go into Portland. And so that's just, get the same kind of shows here, but more. And so it just kind of, after I did that visit, it kind of clicked. I was like, oh, I think I want to live here.
Charlie, did you see my eyes light up?
Yeah,
because talk about a segue without even needing one. This is phenomenal.
He's a pro.
God, you're a natural. Like, do you have the itinerary here in front of you? Like, do you have?
I don't. I wish I did.
That's phenomenal. So, okay, so let's keep that rolling. So, Portland music. A little birdie told me that you were a musician, or probably still are. Sorry to say were. But like we're in a band, and it seems like you guys had some decent success. And what was it called, Charlie? I got it right here. Sons of Cain. From the eyes of Cain.
From the eyes of Cain, yeah.
From the eyes of Cain.
We took a deep dive, man.
Oh yeah, you did. Investigative journalists here. I did see something on that page though. Like, you guys got to open up for Veil of Maya?
Actually, that was one of our best shows. So I don't think it was my favorite, but the cool thing about it is, when you're in a local band, a lot of playing shows is selling tickets, which we were really good at. We're social people. We had a good key in on the city, lots of support, lots of other local bands support. And it was a great community where you really talked up other bands. They talked up you. It was not really hostility. It was very much support, which is awesome. And the nice thing about that show is we done so well for that promoter on a lot of shows. That show he brought to us was, hey, we're in a pinch. The opener couldn't make it. The show is this Saturday. Can you jump on it? You don't got to sell any tickets. We're like, yeah. You got don't pull my hand, right? Like,
right?
Yeah. So it was great because it's a sold out show. Hoffman Theater, which is a pretty decent sized venue for that kind of show in Portland, and literally had to just show up with their gear and play. As you couldn't ask for a better setup with a local band, So
oh no, that's absolutely
that's awesome,
phenomenal.
Man.
Like, if you always kind of gravitate towards that music, like how far back does it go? Like, who got you into metal?
It definitely have always been that way. I'd say I'd started out listening to that kind of stuff probably in middle school. And it was definitely had to do with the friends I hung out with at the time. And most of those people I'm actually still really good friends with. Half of them ended up being bandmates too. Started out listening to the normal stuff for my generation as far as, middle school. Definitely start out with the pop punk, Blink-182, Simple Plan, that kind of stuff. But we started gradually listening to other stuff that came about. So I'll drop some, OG names, obviously Census Fail, Silverstein, that kind of stuff. And gradually it just got a little bit heavier and heavier, and I just loved the energy that those kind of bands put out, the music, the lyrics. And that's really what got us started. You know, all these bands that played that we listened to were like, well, hey, we can do this too. And it's funny, that band From As It Came, that was my first one. We didn't realize how far it was going to go. I mean, we started out as a garage band, and we never went past Portland, but we made a name in Portland.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Enough for we could tell. Our first show that we ever played, the promoters were just blown away because we sold over 150 tickets, which normal bands can't sell more than 20. And we were able to record an album. And ironically, we actually almost got signed, which was my goal at the time. But that's actually kind of what also ended the band too, because we never thought it was going to get that real. It was never.
This was fun.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be fun.
Yeah. Takes all the fun out of it. We got a contract in front of you.
We get free
So
drinks at shows.
We had a record label actually reach out to us and inquire, and it was funny. Is one of the conditions was they wanted us to change our name because it was too much of a garage band name. But once they got that real, half the band was like, we've had a big discussion, and it was like, this is. Half of them, it wasn't for them for the right reasons, family, schooling, career, that kind of stuff. Just couldn't enable actually touring and doing that kind of stuff. So I kept on with my music career. I created another band, same kind of genre. I kept doing stuff in Portland, and then once I moved here, I did start looking for other music bands and things to join. I did a couple auditions, but that's right when COVID hit too. I moved here right before COVID, and that kind of slowed everything down. So I haven't really been looking recently, but I still do go to a lot of local shows. A lot of the bands that tour through. I went to one a couple weeks ago. They still have a really, really great music scene, especially for that genre that I listen to here. And I'm not sure if I eventually might get back into it. Right now, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, especially just being able to attend shows and stuff. But that's not gonna say never won't go back for it.
It's so good.
We're gonna talk sidebar more after that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what did you even play? We haven't even talked about what is.
What instrument did you play?
Who are you in the band?
I actually did clean vocals, so I did the singing.
Frontman. Okay.
Yes.
One of the frontmen. So we were a little bit different because a lot of the bands in that time were that way too. Where you had a vocalist who just did all the hard vocals, the screaming, and one guy who did all the clean vocals. And we both did a little bit of both, but I primarily did the clean vocals, and the other guy did the screams. And for us, we wanted that because we like to be very interactive. So it made, whoever wasn't singing at the time could interact with the crowd, jump around, do crazy crap, So there's a lot of fun stage presence because of that. So.
Oh yeah. So it's that time. Rapid rush request. So are you a coffee drinker?
A coffee drinker?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Favorite coffee spot? Ooh, let's do this. Favorite coffee spot in Portland and favorite coffee spot now in Phoenix.
Okay, so Portland would be this place called Bipartisan. I'm a huge cafe person. I love to go there. That's where I wrote a lot of lyrics, read a lot of, listen to music. Bipartisan's a nice place, just kind of in middle of Portland. And then as far as Phoenix, there's a really cool bakery cafe called Daily Drip.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so growing up now, who was your favorite band that you idolized?
Ooh, growing up, how young we talking?
I don't know which one sticks out. Which one had the obviously there's gonna be one that maybe has the most you can always go back and listen to them. They kind of had an effect on you.
Blink-182. I still love those guys.
Oh yeah,
solid pick. Who is your current hot choice favorite band? Who is the first or most played right now currently? Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use.
Yeah, they're this newer. I should say newer. It's been a couple of years, but they've had only one album so far called Caskets. They're actually based out of London, I think the UK area. They're more like post-hardcore, but not as heavy. They're more the guy's vocals are just phenomenal. He can hit crazy ranges, has the raspy, the music's upbeat. It's been on my hit play for last year and a half. They have a new album coming out in a couple months. I've already pre-ordered and ready to go. So that's been one of my big things.
Is there more of those kind of bands in the UK than there are in the States?
I don't know if there's more or not. I mean, there might be a decent amount. There's not as many that definitely get is discovered in America as they should. This one got signed by I believe an American based record label. That's kind of how I find all my new music, is I follow all my favorite record labels. That's where I discover my new music, follow the bands I like, album releases. I'm a huge vinyl collector too, so I have all my bands on vinyl and that stuff, and go to the shows. And so there's definitely a decent amount of UK bands that I wish could travel to America more often, but they've been the one for me recently.
So what is you have some tattoos, correct? What
Yeah.
is your absolute favorite tattoo that you have?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's right. This is where we really get to know you.
This is a Charlie question, by the way.
style, yeah, I'm pretty heavily tattooed. So style wise, I'd say I've got let's see, here's this one. I got a diamond boat wheel kind of on my elbow, which I like.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay. Yeah.
Other thing is I'm a huge nerd, video games, comics, that kind of stuff. And so a lot of my friends and I as bands, we got Pokemon tattoos. And so I got a Scyther right there. So I'm definitely a kid at heart.
I like that.
Never grow up. Never grow up. Just be responsible.
Yeah.
All right, man. So you've been around long enough. You can give it to us straight. Who's your favorite account executive to deal with?
Ooh, account executive. So that's hard to say because I really only get to work with the ones from the specialized teams a little bit in the first choice. Are we talking about overall impasse?
I mean, you could just say Travis. I mean, it's fine.
I mean, yeah, he's in your backyard.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, so obviously I'm gonna have to go with Travis. I mean, he's my bread and butter. I helped, I feel like I helped spread his wings a little bit and get him to train and grow. And now he's a big boy above me, and he's doing amazing things. I definitely, I think that I always support him as I can. To be fair, though, like I said, I haven't really met a whole lot of the other ones yet. So
there's no wrong answer. No wrong answer.
There's no wrong. Yeah, no, definitely. And you know, Travis moved up. He's up in the AE spot now. And he's in your guys' office, like a couple of days a week or something like that. Yep. Shout out to Travis, our number one listener, number one downloader.
Yeah, Travis. I do want to point out that Nationwide, we are truly right beside you because, I mean, like Charlie, you're Virginia right now. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Virginia, Missouri, and Phoenix right now. I mean, we almost just saw like this diagonal line through the United States.
You can't hide from us.
No, because
we're
right beside you.
That's what we tell our appraisers. You can't hide from us. We're gonna find you.
Yeah, we're gonna find someone to come knock on your door. Like, where is he?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, we got to ask. I mean, you could say Travis as well. Who's the least favorite?
I mean, I was gonna have to say Travis. I don't got anyone else to really go for.
There we go. Travis.
I was gonna say Travis too. He's causing more work for me now. No. Not to mention he's a Chiefs fan, so
that creates a whole nother world of problems.
Bonus. That means he's a winner.
Schwartzy, you got any other heavy hitters for John today?
That was the ending rapid rush request.
Oh, bro. All right. Well, John, man, we really appreciate your time. Had some fun with you for sure. Learned a lot more about you.
More than you probably want to know, right?
No, it's great, man. All I knew about you was that you had a solid beard and 2 sleeves like me. So,
oh man,
you were good in my book already.
This is nothing.
It's nothing.
Oh, dude, ask the team. I got called the beard. I mean, it went down 7-8 inches. I'm not, no joke.
Wow. You're going ZZ Top on us.
Yeah, man.
It was legit ZZ Top. This is nothing, but yeah, it might come back eventually.
Right on. I mean, it's summertime, so it could be a little hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Summertime's for a short beard. I wouldn't know anything about it.
No, you got that clean baby soft skin.
Still can't do it. I got a dirt patch.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
You're growing up so quick.
Shut up.
All right, bro. All right, John, man. Again, I really appreciate the time, bro. And keep doing what you do. It's awesome. Yep. We need it.
I appreciate being here. Thanks, John, guys.
Thank you, John.
That's a wrap for us. It's another great episode of Value Nation. Big shout out again to John Weisser, part of our inside account management team, for joining us today. Make sure to go like, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit us up on IG, TikTok, Facebook, of course, YouTube. You got to see the outfit of the day. Spotify, iTunes, wherever you are streaming
podcast app.
Wonderful podcasts.
All of them.
Peace.
Peace out.